Well, hello, folks. It's an I hate to say I told you so on Greenland. I get a lot of various criticisms from mostly silly Canadian folks, not read, not well schooled, know nothing about history, know nothing of civics, and much, much more. As I stated, Donald J. Trump went into Davos this morning. A pile of friends and followers watched that. I was very proud to see that. It shows you who of your friends and following is there with you. I love the comments, the commentary. We did so well. And, it's not that I'm Mr. Smarty Pants. It's very simple. I've read every single instance of statehood since USA's 13 colonies and beyond. Every single one. I'm not alone here. I have Benjamin Ebley, a very good friend of mine, an American. We did this work already now more than a year ago. It was just in the new year, a year and 2 weeks ago, in fact. And we were going through this as Trump really ramped up in December, started going through this. We unpacked the Monroe Doctrine. We unpacked territories that have stood in USA for upwards of 75 years on average, folks. Greenland doesn't have the population. Greenland is a military strategic asset. Hawaii went through that, and many, many more. They stayed as territories. What Trump secured today with a threat to NATO that will just pull the plug. And they kowtowed, cowed down, bent down. They accepted Trump's terms. No military intervention. The USA, everybody, is going to be putting missile defense systems all through Greenland, expanding their base, the largest base in Greenland. It's the road to annexation of a territory. You will find this in Horn of Plenty for every single instance of American annexation through the process of statehood, but for territories in population. And it's seen every single instance. America is a constitutional machine. There's powers of president, Congress, Senate, and the judiciary. Trump even said judicious when he went through his presentation. It was brilliant in Davos. He made public so many secrets amongst these weak European, British, and Commonwealth leaders. Made an ass of them on the world stage. And folks, if you don't know American history, shut your mouth. If you don't know international binding law from 1945 until today, if you don't know the basis of the United Nations and the promise from all of those in Europe, absolutely UK, and yes, the entire Commonwealth, if you don't know King George VI's promise to the United States of America with Prime Minister Winston Churchill, known as the 1941 Atlantic Charter, I don't know what to tell you. It's clear to me a pile of radical Democrats representing 10% of the American population don't even know what fascism is, because they're fascists. They don't even know what it means. As a Canadian, I assure you, we know what that word means, because we live in it, legally constituted in our very pathetic constitutional monarchy. That's what they are. The definition of fascism, with fascist rulers. It's impossible not to be. Anti-Christian, anti-everything that Jesus Christ, and in fact, many other religious leaders spoke out against. And of course, their lives were destroyed. Many Americans, civil rights champions, spoke out against these very things. And they were executed by radicals. Unfortunately for Canada, And many in the European Union and their civil law socialist states would still run legal fascism from top-down executive. And this is all of the British former empire, known as the Commonwealth, much of them. Canada's about the worst. Greenland is already in the statehood process officially today, as I told you, and it's on the road of the next territory of the United States, the 6th territory. Again, if you don't know the history of USA annexation and territories, you should probably grab your Google, grab any AI you want, start going through it. I did it the old-fashioned way. I read it all in tremendous detail. That way I'm not missing anything, taking shortcuts, coming out as an idiot. I don't have to do that. I'm blessed. That's the one thing I have. I'm blessed with a large comprehension and a large database in this brain. I can read large volumes, and I do that faithfully for everybody who wants to share in that knowledge. I give that freely. I don't charge. I don't do any of that. It's an, I hate to say so, moment, but really, look at how Macron got made fun of. Look at how the European Union got made fun of. They can't stand on their own 2 feet militarily. They couldn't since World War II. They didn't in World War II. They couldn't in World War II. They made promises, deals with the United States, the current Russian Federation, as then the Soviet Union, promise after promise, and didn't live up to it. Canada doesn't live up to any of its promises. Never has, never will. Can't trust the Crown. They will never honor their word. Well, Trump's not fucking around, everybody. He made a pile public for you. If you missed Davos today, he made a mass amount public. Did you like their anti-missile defense systems that failed? That never made the news because that's top secret. Trump told you they all failed in a trial, and the missiles went up and came crashing back down. Europe, Britain, and many others who did what? Used China and Russian parts and pieces, and they're left looking like a-holes. You want quality, you want the military might, it's USA, number 1 in the world today. Will China get there eventually? Maybe, sure, but they're not there today. And if you like the dollar store quality of things that we all know is true, especially as a Canadian, not in America. I've been to Walmarts in America, night and day from a Walmart in Canada. The products we get in Canada, made in China. Nothing of American quality. You pay for crap, you get crap. That's how it works. Things break or they don't work at all. It's reality. But that is the Canadian system. That's what we've traded off. Your crown gets rich, we go poor. Greenland's just the first. That's going to be the 6th territory of the United States. You will see. It's already a done deal. It doesn't matter, as I told you all. It doesn't matter if Trump's out of office at this point in time going forward. It's already signed, sealed, certified. It's going. Those missile defense systems are going. That kind of military escalation is going via the United States with full support of the European Union and all those big mouths who were made assholes today at Davos, because that's really what they are. If a subject's as honest as Americans are, they'll admit this. I'm one of those subjects who's honest about it, not scared to tell the truth, stand for my principles, and that's reality. That's what we see. Next up on the chopping block is Canada. We're already only 10 short months away. It's actually, in fact, even less than 10 months. Goes fast, folks. Snap of a finger. Before Canada knows it, they're in serious economic trouble. And they can, we're going to do this, we're going to do that to them. They're not doing nothing. All they're doing is hurting the Canadian people, hurting the tertiary industries for primary extraction at the resource level, where many don't get the high-paying jobs, many low-paying jobs, and you're making a few rich at the expense of the many. Welcome to constitutional monarchies. No love for their subjects, none whatsoever. Doug Ford knows this truth, but he's gone silent again as he's losing his automotive industries. And why? Because he's playing their game. He's gotten rich by it. They got the same oath he took as they all took, and Ford's not going to give up what he has. No Ontario politician will give up what they have and what they've taken from the Ontario people, as every premier does to all of their subjects in their provinces and territories, and they give and pay forward to their federal crown, and that's how it goes. Top-down hierarchy of rape, pillage, and plunder. Find somebody below you. Hate thy neighbor. Fuck thy neighbor as hard as thy can. That's the Canadian way. It's sad. It's pathetic. We have very limited checks and balances against that. Unions are one for Canada, but America doesn't need any of that. That's how they're constitutionally designed. That's what it is. You find the love of America just going through it in any state you pick. I'm not saying America's perfect. I know there's issues all over the place, but what I know of Canada and what I've very recently seen throughout much of the United States in the last few years, it's night and day now. Canada is a very big problem, and people don't want to admit it, and it's a security threat to the United States, as is Greenland. But that is a more complex go-through, because that is a State of the Union scenario. That's annexation for statehood. And Trump's working on that. Easily swept through, has Greenland, has the military deal. It's a treaty. And if you look at all territories of the United States, it all begins with military deals and America putting their boots on the ground militarily and flexing their sphere of influence. And that's the deal struck today. Game over, Greenland. It's not going to be Denmark's anymore. It's going the way of the territory, the sixth territory of the United States of America. Again, if you're that kind of fool who doesn't read history, hasn't read every single territorial expansion of the United States in the last 250 years, that's on you. That's a low IQ, speaking out their ass, idiot. And I'm sorry, these are the kinds of people that really ruin the country. They allow tyrants to take over. Why? Because we have no checks and balances against that. Anyways, as I told you so, happened. The NATO threat was used. The money owed by those countries. And who else like Denmark owes as much, if not more, than the low payer Denmark to the United States from 1960 to 2025? Right? Who would that be? Oh yeah, it's you, Canada. It's over $2 trillion. With Denmark, Greenland, and all of that, $3 trillion. And guess what? That's the entire debt every Canadian is born with today, federally and provincially / territorially, with all municipalities. All of it. You'd be doubling it. Can you imagine your economic condition, Canadians, doubling all of your current debt just to appease the United States, to keep your crown in power, to keep Canada the country? Well, what does that put you? Oh yeah, in third world status. Oh shit. Oh shit. You want to talk inflation? You think it's bad now? Double your inflation on an annual basis forever more going forward. Think of the economic collapse of so many of your industries. And that's not including tariffs and future economic realities of a zeroing of the USMCA, meaning it doesn't exist, and the full brunt of tariffs hit. Canada's done, man. You just saw them fold like a paper bag. Greenland's on its way to be the next territory of the United States. Pay attention, Canadians, because you're in the exact same scenario but much, much, much worse off if you don't capitulate. Get a brain, start seeing what's in front of you, and start preparing for Canada, the 51st state, where we go intact, economically and industry-wise, where Crown land disappears, and for all First Peoples and all newly minted citizens, there's a mass amount of private property released. No more Crown land. No more savages. No more subjects. Equal citizens. Those are your options. I don't know why people think these are bad options. There's reciprocity for every working Canadian. If you worked your whole life, long before any of this, there was a deal done after Westminster. It's in treaty with Canada, USA. Dollar for dollar on all your pension retirement plans, including the Socialist Old Age Security Canada, 2-tier CPP. All that goes dollar for dollar into the American system. Reciprocity. If you've worked as a Canadian, you're safe. All of your private sector, public sector pensions, all are dollar for dollar USA. You'll never get a better deal than that. And that's for working Canadians, because you all deserve it. You don't deserve the bullshit of the Crown anymore. God bless everybody. That's my video. Share, share, share. Get it out there. It's what it is. It's real, verifiable, and absolutely deadly accurate. God bless. I know.